Most people believe these money myths, and it's costing them real wealth. Seriously, we hear things from our parents, our friends, and even so-called experts online. We think we are being smart, we think we are making the right moves. But what if I told you that most of the common advice about money is not just wrong, but it's actively making you poorer every single day? It's like trying to build a house with a blueprint that's completely upside down. You'll work hard, spend a lot of time and energy, but you'll end up with something that's unstable and ready to collapse. Let's tackle the first big one, the myth that everyone loves to hate. Budgeting is a restrictive prison for your money. People hear the word budget, and they immediately picture a life of misery. Eating plain rice and beans for every meal, never going out with friends, saying no to every single thing that brings them joy. The budget becomes this big, scary monster that just tells you no all the time. It feels like you're putting your finances in a straitjacket, squeezing all the fun and spontaneity out of your life. This idea is so powerful that most people don't even try to budget, or they try and fail within the first month. Let me tell you about a friend of mine, let's call her Sarah. Sarah made a decent income, but she was always broke a week before her next paycheck. She told me, "Graham, I can't budget, it's too depressing, I don't want to know how much I spend on takeout and online shopping," but all that happened was her credit card debt grew larger, and her stress levels went through the roof. Her lack of a plan was the real cage, trapping her in a cycle of earning and spending with nothing to show for it. A budget isn't a prison, it's your get-out-of-jail-free card. It's the key to financial freedom. A good budget doesn't just say no, it's a plan that gives you permission to spend. Think of it this way, a budget is you telling your money where to go, instead of wondering where it went. For example, you can create categories for the things you love. Guilt-free coffee fund weekend. Fun money. By giving those dollars a specific job, you can spend them without a single ounce of guilt. You already planned for it. Let's go back to my friend Sarah. Instead of a restrictive budget, we created a simple spending plan. We calculated her essential bills, set a savings goal, and then saw what was left over. That leftover amount was her money to spend on anything she wanted. Takeout, shopping, whatever. Suddenly she wasn't guilty about buying a new pair of shoes because she knew her bills were covered and her savings were growing. She was in control. Within a few months, she paid off a credit card and was less stressed than ever. The budget didn't imprison her, it set her free from her financial anxiety. The next myth is one that many of us are guilty of, especially in the age of smartphones. It's the belief that checking your bank account or investment portfolio multiple times a day will somehow make you wealthier. It feels productive, doesn't it? You open your banking app in the morning, again at lunch, and one last time before bed. You watch the stock market ticker like a hawk, a jolt of excitement when it goes up, a pang of anxiety when it goes down. But here's the harsh truth. Watching your money does not make it grow. It can do the exact opposite. This habit is not a strategy, it's a source of emotional stress. By checking constantly, you ride an emotional roller coaster. I once knew a guy, let's call him Tom, who was obsessed with his portfolio. App alerts every 1% move. His mood depended on green or red, small temporary drop. Tom panicked and sold everything. The next week it rebounded higher. He locked in a loss and missed the recovery. Watching made him poorer, not richer. The correct mindset is to set it and forget it. Wealth isn't built by watching, it's built by automating. The most successful investors and savers pay the least attention to the daily ups and downs. They create a solid plan, they automate it, and then they let it run. This means setting up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings and investment accounts every single payday. The money moves before you even have a chance to see it or spend it. This is how you build wealth effortlessly and without emotion. Instead of checking your balance daily, schedule a financial check-in once a month, once a quarter. This is your dedicated time to review your progress. Make sure your plan is still on track. Think about it like planting a tree. You don't dig up the seed every day to see if it's growing. Your job isn't to stare at the tree, your job is to keep watering it. Your automatic contributions are the water. First, delete the banking and investment apps from your phone's home screen. Second, go into your bank account right now and set up an automatic transfer to your savings account for the day after you get paid. Even if it's just $20, start the habit. Automate your financial progress. Let your wealth-building machine run on autopilot. Your future self will be amazed at how much you've accumulated, all while you were busy living your life instead of watching a screen. This is a huge one. So many people believe the myth that you have to be a doctor, a lawyer, a tech CEO. I only make an average salary, so what's the point? I'll never get rich. This belief is incredibly discouraging. It makes people feel defeated before they even start. They look at their paycheck, compare it to massive incomes on social media, and give up. They assume wealth is only for the top 1%. I know two people who illustrate this. One is a lawyer we'll call Mark, who earns over $200,000 a year. Mark lives in a huge house. Mark drives a luxury car. Mark takes expensive vacations. He spends everything to maintain that lifestyle. At year-end, his net worth has barely moved. The other is a teacher we'll call Jane, who earns about $60,000 a year. Jane lives in a modest apartment. Jane drives a reliable used car. Jane saves and invests 25% automatically every month. After 10 years, who has a higher net worth? It's Jane. The new mindset is simple but powerful. It's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. Your savings rate, the percentage of your income that you save and invest, is a far more powerful predictor of your future wealth than your salary. Person A, 20% of $50,000. That's $10,000 per year. Person B, 5% of $150,000. That's $7,500 per year. The math is undeniable. You have direct control over your savings rate, starting today. Focus on increasing the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is your wealth-building engine. Let's go back to Jane, the teacher. She started small, saving just 5% of her income. Every time she got a small annual raise, she committed to saving half of it. Over the years, her income grew modestly, but her savings rate grew dramatically. She automated everything, so she never had to rely on willpower. She proved that consistency beats a high income every single time. Your action step is to calculate your savings rate right now. Take the total amount you save and invest each month, divide it by your monthly take-home pay, and multiply by 100. Don't be discouraged if it's low or even zero. This is your starting point. Now challenge yourself to increase it by just 1%. This small, incremental approach is manageable and sustainable. It's not about becoming a millionaire overnight. It's about making consistent progress, because that's what truly builds lasting wealth. Let's talk about debt. The common wisdom is that all debt is bad. We hear phrases like debt is a four-letter word and are told to avoid it at all costs. This myth lumps all types of debt into one big, scary category. It equates a mortgage on a rental property with high-interest credit card debt from a shopping spree. People become so afraid of debt that they might miss out on powerful opportunities to build wealth. They might decide to pay for a college education in cash by working for 10 years first, missing out on years of higher earning potential. It fails to distinguish between good debt and bad debt. Bad debt is typically high interest, consumer debt used to buy things that go down in value. Think of credit card debt used for vacations, clothes, expensive dinners. This is the kind of debt that can truly ruin your financial life, trapping you in a cycle of interest payments that feels impossible to escape. This is the debt you should attack with intensity. It serves no purpose other than to make you poorer. However, there is another side to the story. Good debt is money you borrow to acquire an asset that has the potential to grow in value or generate income. The classic example is a mortgage on a home. You are using leverage or borrowed money to buy an asset that will likely appreciate over time, and you get a place to live. Another example is taking out a sensible student loan for a degree that significantly increases your earning potential, or borrowing money at a low interest rate to start a business that could generate massive returns. Imagine you have the opportunity to buy a rental property for $200,000. It generates $1,500 in rent per month and the mortgage payment is $1,000. You are cash flowing $500 a month, your tenant is paying down your loan, and the property value is likely to increase. In this case, the debt is a tool that is making you richer every month. If you were completely debt averse, you would miss this opportunity. The mindset that all debt is a disaster would have cost you a valuable income-producing asset. Understanding the difference is crucial for anyone serious about building wealth. The final myth, incredibly common in the internet age, the idea that you have to chase every hot trend to get rich. One day it's a specific crypto coin, the next it's a meme stock, the day after it's NFTs or some AI-powered trading bot. People see a few overnight fortunes, they get massive FOMO. They think slow and steady is for suckers, real money is jumping on the next big thing. This becomes a dangerous, expensive game. It turns investing into gambling. Not fundamentals, but bets on hype and speculation. For every one lucky person, thousands get burned. By the time you hear the trend on news or social, smart money has often left. You're buying at the peak, riding the wave down. Cycle, buy high, sell low. Recipe for disaster. Think dot-com bubble. Quitting jobs, day trading, worthless internet stocks, no revenue and no business plan. They threw life savings into anything. .com portfolios soared then crashed. Many lost everything. They weren't investing, they were speculating. Same story repeats. Boring is beautiful. Wealth equals sign discipline plus consistency, not chasing shiny objects. Invest regularly in a diversified portfolio low-cost index funds that track the entire market. Won't make you a millionaire overnight, high probability over time, tried and true for decades. Don't chase quick bucks, don't gamble with your future. For more simple, smart money tips that actually work, make sure to follow Finance Hatch. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more myth-busting financial content that will help you build real, lasting wealth. Remember, it's not about chasing the latest trend or having a perfect salary. It's about taking control of what you can control and building the financial future you deserve. Your future self will thank you for starting today.